Welcome to Meeting CHH, where we keep it real, we keep explaining, we keep appreciating, and we keep leading. Let's do it. So we explored the beginning of CHH and the beginning of Christian hip hop, the birth of it from the early 1980s, from official records being released to one of the first emerging and official artists in the CHH space. The late 80s, seeing more artists coming in, groups starting to form, record labels pushing Christian hip hop. And then you get into the 90s where I got a personal interview with Corey Sanders, who's been in the game since then as well. Talked about how the infrastructure started building. So in the 80s, though you had the music coming up and you had its birth, it was still trying to find its way. There was no infrastructure. It was definitely a caveat, and it was a niche, especially before the barcodes in the music industry, when things were just based off cassettes and CDs. So then you have in the 90s record labels starting to push out, groups starting to expand. So you have some dynamic groups like the Gospel Gangsters collaborating with gospel artists like Kurt Franklin. So more eyes and attention, some more records being pushed, not only through the Christian hip hop space, but then you start seeing it branch out in the industry as far as like in retail stores, given, Grape Tree Records and the way they were like the No Limit of CHH, if that's a Master P reference, and just the way they were pushing out records and getting their stuff played. And then you get to the 2000s and groups like the Cross Movement, where the music, which there was already singles here and there that was on par with regular hip hop, but then you start seeing just some breakthroughs of not only the sound, but then just a culture shift as well. Cross Movement helped bring that theological rap, and we explored how Lecrae was brought up under that with artists like The Truth at that time, Flame. But Lecrae, obviously one of the most staple CHH artists, the GOAT, in this space, and obviously his breakthrough in CHH. And so we explored his early career. He brought up not only through the Cross Movement, but he brought up the whole 116 model and that clique and what that did for the game. And now how Christians around the world, globally, we're getting to that point. It's a unique banner that we have within the hip hop space. Just being unashamed of the gospel. So that brought Christian hip hop forth even more. Then we get to the mid 2010s, which is where we last left off. We saw some hits, Church Clothes being debuted in the early 2010s, which we briefly mentioned last episode, and just the trajectory of CHH and the expansion, not only with artists and the taste, but the creativity. CHH at this time was definitely on par with Christian hip hop. Not every single record, but it was debatable as far as Christian hip hop and hip hop. Man, you could debate which one was better. Obviously, content wise, 100%. But as far as sonically and the quality of the music, it was right there. So some of the best work came out in the 2010s, I believe. Some of our classic albums, like Anomaly, Church Clothes. You have Uncomfortable from Andy Mineo. You got quite a bit of projects from Tripoli as well. Some staple projects there. So with that being said, here we are right now. So we went through the history of CHH, which was fun. And now we're going to go from the mid 2010s into the decade going into now. So how have we landed here where we're at right now? That's what we're about to get into. Let's do it.